Welcome to the 11th episode of Cruz Boxing Scorecard. It's your boy Cruz, aka Crucito el Vago.
And it's your boy Henry. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
We have a returning guest today, our cousin, Primo Hermano. Give a round of applause to my boy. Let's go, Cal.
Cool cow, cool cow, cow.
Cool cow. Back here, back full effect, you heard?
You heard? We're going to talk about right now Beterbiev versus Bivol.
Crazy.
Right? Who won? Beterbiev won by unanimous decision. Glenn Feldman had a 115, 113. Paolo Cardini had a 116, 112. And Manuel Oliver Palomo had a 114, 114. It was a super close fight. It was a chess match. I had it the same as Glenn Feldman at 115, 113. I just want to mention how close this fight was, gentlemen. All three judges had Beterbiev winning at least 6 rounds. And they all had the same 6 rounds that they won. Round 3, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12. They also had Bivol winning the same 4 rounds, 1, 2, 8, and 9. Right? The other rounds were fluctuating. One gave one more, the other ones gave one less. But it was a super close fight. It was, like I mentioned, it was a chess match. I gave Beterbiev. That was my prediction that he was going to win. And he came out. He won the championship rounds. He came in and he didn't, let's say, dominate, but his ringmanship really outshined Bivol's. His power, he was stronger than Bivol, but he wasn't faster. The interesting part is that his timing is impeccable. Like, he's slower, but his timing, whenever he got hit, he would hit right back, right? Calvin, what were your thoughts on the fight?
I honestly had Bivol winning more rounds than Beterbiev. I thought he won round 1 through 4. 5, I gave to Beterbiev. 6 was a toss-up, and I feel like they gave it to Beterbiev towards the end because he started coming back. 7, again, I gave it to Bivol. And 8, that's when I feel like Beterbiev started picking up his game. And 9, I gave it back to Bivol. But then championship rounds, I got to give it to Beterbiev because that's when he did his thing.
I agree, man.
It's crazy that you said that Beterbiev, every time he got hit. But I thought every time Bivol got hit, or Bivol, however you say his name, he at least came back with 2 or 3 combos.
Facts.
So I don't know. I mean, you clearly saw what the judges saw, but I saw something completely different. And I'm not gonna say it's a robbery either because it could have went either way. It's just not surprising who won though. If Bivol would have won, you would have said the same thing. I'm not surprised.
It was a super
really,
tight.
really.
A lot of boxing fans were waiting for this fight, and the real boxing fans knew how close this fight was. The nonchalant boxing fan, I would say, could have seen it a little boring, but I didn't. I just saw 2 masters in the square circle going at it, and they're both going to become better fighters at the end of after this fight. Henry, what'd you think about the fight?
I honestly thought the fight was almost a draw, and either one of them could have won by 1 round each end. So for Powell to see it for 116, 112, I think he got paid. You might not see him again. Just saying. I smell something dirty.
They were close rounds,
bro.
too,
They were
Henry.
really close, but you got to realize, I feel like every single time Beterbiev threw a punch, Bivol came back with like a flurry. Did he connect all of them? No, he didn't. But he connected a lot
He
more
did.
than Beterbiev. You know what I'm
But the
saying?
punch to the power wasn't there.
But
But keep going.
But like if you compare apples to oranges, I think Manny Pacquiao hits harder than Floyd Mayweather, but Floyd Mayweather throws more. You know what I'm saying? Like we could compare it to that, but they're not in the same category. I really
Okay.
believe that
Mhm.
it could have went either way. I felt more that at the end of the fight it was a draw more than anyone, but I was like, it's got to be close, not 116, 112. Ain't no way. No,
That's 4 rounds to 8, though.
I
I had it 5 rounds to 7, but a tie is a tie, right? 6
right.
is 6.
That's true.
Yeah, it was close. If somebody told me it was 117 to 111,
That would
or
be
like any
crazy.
crazy stuff like that lady and Canelo's fight against Triple G, what she had it like 118, 1 like 10 or some stupid shit like that.
I still feel
Yeah.
I would
116,
I
112 is crazy though.
yeah, that
But you know what I do also want to bring up is the beginning it was like a Super Bowl halftime show. It was dope. I felt like I was in high school again. It was lit.
it was so good.
And then the movie was like a freaking Viking movie. I was
Yeah. No,
hyped.
that shit was
After watching that, I was so hyped. I was like, I'm ready to watch this fight right. There could only be one, which is
That
like
coming
that's
attraction was that was
fire.
crazy dope.
I've
That was a
never seen
movie.
anything
It was
like
a
that.
movie.
It was
It was a short film
best.
and it was done good.
Yeah,
It was
definitely
done.
good.
it's
They
great.
should have did some shit like that for Crawford and Spence. That shit would have been good too, because that was a big time wait.
Right. The show
Yeah.
was better too. The show that they had was better
Eminem.
than I'm just saying.
I think this show was
Missy Elliott got involved. You know she's gonna have a show going. You know?
crazy.
So you got to
I
remember
think they
who
did.
Busta Rhymes is, a performer too. All his
Right.
music videos were just theatrical.
Yeah.
The show before the main event was great, and that fight didn't disappoint at all. Boys,
Yeah.
I want to tell you something, man. The last undisputed light heavyweight was Roy Jones Jr. in 2002. And this was we haven't seen an undisputed light
22
heavyweight
years.
in 22 years. And this was before the 4-belt era. Okay, this was in the 3-belt era, the same time that Mike Tyson had his undisputed at heavyweight. WBO got recognized in 2004, so it was shortly after Roy Jones became undisputed that they were recognized as an actual organization as being one of the main belts. They were founded in 1988. Let's go 88 babies.
88, baby.
Right? 88 babies. Henry, who do you think Beterbiev should fight next?
I want a rematch.
Rematch.
I want a rematch.
Rematch.
I really don't think there should be another fight, but I know that I'm like watching the internet, and Canelo's like, I want to fight Beterbiev, which I think is a bad decision, but it's a money fight and it's an undisputed title. And you know what runs the world, Alex? Money.
Man, payday.
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 I like
Calvin, who
money.
you
You know
Calvin
me,
Payday.
baby.
would
And you know what the prince
Who do you-
wants? Money.
payday.
Money.
He
He's got
he
enough
wants
Uh,
money.
money for the
Him and
fighters.
That's a fact.
they got oil money.
They
They
got
don't
the
need
oil.
Calvin.
That's
Who do you
crazy.
think Beterbiev should have next?
In all honesty, I do want to see a rematch, but I would also like to see the winner between Benavidez or Morel. Those two
Yeah.
are supposed to fight. So whoever comes out of
Yeah.
that, if that fight happens, whoever comes out of that should get a chance.
Yeah.
Also,
They just signed that contract to fight.
yeah. But also, Bivol's attorney filed for immediate rematch, and I heard they got denied because Beterbiev's
I heard that
mandatory is
too.
some German cat.
So it's super tough. What I don't understand is how all these organizations all align and they'll say, oh, mandatory challenger has to be Cruz, right? And then I got to fight one guy for all the belts. But then they decide to put different mandatories after the undisputed fighter wins.
Yeah.
This is what happened to Usyk. He doesn't have one of the belts now. He doesn't have the IBO belt anymore.
Because he wants to fight.
Because he's mandated to fight Tyson, and I think it's IBO, IBF, and they were like, "Oh, you need to fight somebody else," and then he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna go fight Tyson Fury," so he had to drop the belt. So now, technically, he's not the undisputed champion. Guess who holds the IBO belt right now?
Email champ?
No, the dude that knocked out Joshua a couple weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
It was Joshua versus Daniel Du Bois.
Yeah,
it's deserved.
Honestly, I'm not even mad at that.
No, he should be the champ. He beat fucking Tyson Fury. There's no, I'm mad at that. I'm mad at that because
but you can't argue with the fact, like, because I think we've had this conversation before, where these different commissions have, different interests, and how I'm seeing it, right? WBC's America. You're gonna make they're not gonna make you fight somebody in Europe mandatorily unless the guy's been fighting in Europe. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm still mad.
But you know what? I'm not mad at that, because you know what's gonna happen after Tyson Fury loses? He's gonna fight him again. He's gonna fight freaking what's his name?
Daniel Du Bois already lost. Daniel Du Bois already lost.
What happened now?
Yeah.
What's the problem with another rematch? Seriously.
I mean, that's all we got to look forward to be honest, Class.
Yeah,
you never know. You never know. Dude from Australia, Parker.
Talk about heavyweights. There was a fight on this undercard that was crazy. This Fabio Wardley versus Frazer Clark. Frazer Clark wins by KO in the first round. Now, this is their second fight. All right, let me bring it back. This dude, Fabio Wardley, he was like 17-0. When he faced Clark, they had a draw, I believe. Henry, if you could just double check me on that. But he ends up having, before that fight, it was 16-0 with 16 knockouts, right? Which is a crazy statistic. You don't see that very often. Beterbiev is the only, now his 20-0 is with 20 knockouts is done because he couldn't knock out Bivol. But he ends up fighting him again on that undercard. And I haven't seen a knockout like in this extravagant manner in such a long time. Homie got knocked out in the first round. He looked like he was having a stroke. His face went like crazy.
Crazy.
So yeah, that first fight was a split decision draw. So, you know what? That was kind of crazy. I was like, oh, he broke his head.
I thought the ambulance was going to
come. Because, Calvin likes punching people, and he knows. He's like, no, the jaw comes up here. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, he knows from experience. He knows.
That's crazy.
So yeah.
So this dude, Fabio Wardley, I never saw him fight, and that's why undercards are super important, because you get to see these fighters, and this dude was so precise with his punches. I don't know if he had some revenge or like he had to come back and show the world, nah, this dude's going down now. All I needed was 13 rounds. You know what I'm saying? That's all I needed, 13 rounds.
Yeah.
I love his line. He goes in after he won. His last name's Wardley, right? He goes, Wardley. He goes, yeah, war by name, war by nature. I was like, wait, his name's Wardley. Okay. All right. War by name, war by nature. But dude's devastating. His power punches are devastating. Henry, did you catch that fight?
Crazy haymakers.
You're talking about the Wardley fight, the Clark fight, right? Yeah, I was like, he broke his head. He's done.
Cal, you have any thoughts on that fight?
No, that fight was crazy. Honestly, I wasn't even expecting it to go like that. But as soon as it happened, I was like, oh! Because Son couldn't get up. He was just like stuck.
He was grabbing onto the rope.
Probably looking at the ref like, who are you?
Yo,
it's bad.
Yeah, I don't think they should ever fight again.
Yeah.
The dude was 8-0. The dude was 8-0 before the fight. 8-0-1 with that draw. Now he's 8-1-1. I'm not saying he shouldn't stop fighting, but maybe he should. He has double the experience. Wardley has double the experience, maybe he should step down a notch. He has to now because he has the loss. Start getting some fights under your belt before you start, going back up, because that knockout did not look good. That knockout that might make top 10 knockouts of 2024.
Yeah.
To
Yo,
be honest with you.
imagine he comes back
Close.
positive.
Oh shit, like Wardley? That's crazy. I don't want to say that. I'm not gonna put that out there. I'm gonna.
I feel like after Haney is doing what he's doing, like it's crazy.
Oh
But
my god,
we'll talk
that's the
about
truth.
that, right?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that Haney situation. But I think going back to this heavyweight fight, Wardley, I think he needs to fight Zhang
Yeah, that would be
or
good.
Andy. He needs to fight Zhang or Andy Ruiz
One or the
Jr.
other. One or
What
the other.
about
One or
But
the other.
Zhang, I
what
would
about
rather see him
Parker?
fight Zhang.
No, I think the winner of that fight could fight those two. I think Andy Ruiz shouldn't. He could fight Parker. He's
Yeah.
a belt. He had a belt. He's a
Former.
champion, right?
Yeah.
Former champion. I think Wardley needs to go through a few other dudes before he gets the opportunity to get a belt in the heavyweight class,
I get
because
what you're
there's
saying.
too much talent.
'Cause
There's a lot of
I
talent.
feel like Zhang is up there though. He beat big names already. So I don't think he'll
But
step
he
down to
lost.
fight anybody. Yeah, he's the only one right
That's
now.
what he used to. Yeah.
And I think
Even-
all you
even-
guys were like, "Oh no, Usyk's gonna lose." I was telling you, mofo's.
But listen, I feel like Tyson Fury played around too much with him. He
Nah, I
played
He's
think he
around.
got
always fought
caught.
that
He
style.
had a lot of opportunities to honestly overwhelm him, and he didn't. He was having fun in there. He was laughing at him, doing shit like that. But he could have taken it. I believe so. I mean, he had too many opportunities and too many. I feel like he was watching him and everything. So moving around, hit him with a couple body shots.
If it was a good ref, they wouldn't have passed the 7th round. He would have
That's
got
also
knocked out.
that's true.
I'm
Lie about
telling
that.
you.
That's the truth.
You
That's the
remember that,
truth.
right?
He's been
He
lucky
was
with
knocked
refs
out.
for years. Let's
Yo,
talk
he got
about
saved.
that.
He
No,
did get
man, I
saved.
remember when he saw God when he fought Wilder. You know what I mean? And he came back up like the
That's
Undertaker.
another
and
14. It was like a 14 count.
Yo, bro.
Right.
Maybe it's the gypsy ancestors that are shining this light or whispering in the ref's ears or something. It didn't save him against Usyk. It
Hell
didn't
no.
save him against Usyk, and it won't save him against Usyk in December.
No.
And I personally, and you guys could quote me on this, Usyk is gonna beat Tyson Fury again, and I think he's gonna knock him out. And I think he's gonna knock him out. And if they there can't be a one-sided ref. I don't want that same ref. They need to bring in a new ref and bring an American ref. I don't want to see a British ref. I don't want to see a Ukrainian ref. I want to see a neutral ref. Bring a guy from Saudi Arabia. Prince, you got mad people in the kingdom. Get one licensed up
Let
with
somebody over.
WBC and all them. Right?
They're gonna get Habibi.
Habibi's gonna come through
Habibi.
and
He's
ref
gonna
the
make some
fight.
chopped cheeses,
No,
and he's gonna be like, okay. He's like, I've been seeing people fight for 20 years. Well,
So
make
they
chopped cheeses.
they had the instrumental with the song with Jay-Z and Punjabi MC in the back playing. Oh, they had that shit bumping here.
yo, we need to go to a Riyadh season.
Yo, facts
Next.
to go to Riyadh.
Did you catch the raffles last fight?
No.
Bro, in the last fight, the Beterbiev fight, somebody won a G-Wagon. It was this lady. And they just nail you out. They just randomly pick your seat out. And you come down and you win the prize. And they put her on the TV and everything. She won a G-Wagon. In the Crawford fight, they had a raffle too. And they picked 4 winners. Each winner got a round trip vacation for them and 3 other guests, 4 people,
Wow.
to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, all expenses paid, everything.
That's fire.
Right? And
I
cash
want
to
to go over
spend.
there. And
Yeah, it was some crazy. I don't remember the details, but it was some crazy raffle. And then 4 people, I think 4 or 5 people won, and they announced them after the main event. But that shit was crazy. I was just like, what the hell? I need to get into a Riyadh season ticket just for the chance to win something.
Facts.
that's
Changing
insane.
subjects, boys.
Like,
Yeah, changing subjects. This weekend, this past weekend,
Yeah.
we had an Australian fighter, Tim Tzue, finally make his fight against Bakhram Murtazaliev. Now, Bakhram, he's the other champion at the 154. This guy is in, I would say, a war zone between Spence, Crawford, Fundora, and Tim Tzue. He's in there, and he fought him on Saturday, and he got knocked out. Right in the third round, his corner threw in the towel. The ref was like, "No, that's it." Tim Tzue didn't have it. Henry,
Yeah.
what do you think about the fight?
Honestly, that fight was just one-sided entirely. And I feel good that his corner threw in the towel because he would have gotten even beat up more or, you know, brain damage. You know what I mean? They saw like your trainer knows you more than anybody else when you're going to that ring and you were getting beat up. And honestly, I was expecting more from Tim. So I don't know. Bakram, nasty. He's fire.
He reminds me of that the other fighter that Crawford fought,
Yeah,
like the same style that
word.
I think is Russian or Uzbekistan or something like that. They have
Yeah,
that
yeah.
same kind of built, but they fight the same style like
Mhm.
Mexican fighters fight this way.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the funny
Yeah.
thing, Calvin, check this out. Guess what Tim Zoo's nickname is? Tim the Soul Taker Zoo.
Oh no.
Not this Saturday. He got his soul taken
Yeah.
this Saturday.
Well, Bakram should change his name to Bakram Shao Tsung and his last name from Mortal Kombat.
Shao Kahn.
No, yeah, Shao Tsung, whatever his name is. You know who I'm talking about. He's the
Oh
fighter soul.
yeah,
You know who I'm
yeah.
talking
The
about.
main
The
villain that
guy.
be telling like your soul
Yeah.
is mine.
Yeah, him.
Yo, yo,
Yeah.
crazy
So
fight,
just so you
man.
know, Madrimov is from Uzbekistan.
That's
So yeah,
so,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Just wanted to go back out there and just throw that in
Thank
there.
you,
So he's number one
much
ranked in the
appreciated.
country. Number one in the country for
In
him.
Uzbekistan,
Yep. He's ranked number
no,
one. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Crawford
yeah.
whooped
Yeah, I mean, but look, that would be a great fight to watch. You know what I'm saying? Like
He's lined
that
up to
would
do
be.
this
You know what? That great fight.
because Crawford has one of the belts, right? The whole idea is Crawford's going to be undisputed at 154. So that means the other three belts have to be, he has to have a chance to fight for them, right? It would make sense if Crawford fights Bakhram next, right? Because Spence apparently is now back on the table. Spence Fundora, Sebastian Fundora has the two other belts in the super welterweight division, and Spence was supposed to fight him. Fights got delayed, postponed, or canceled. Then again, they got signed. So now, apparently, at this moment, they're supposed to fight, and they don't have a date. It's to be determined, but they're supposed to fight. I think this might be the last time we're going to see Spence fight. And I say this not in hate, but I think it's coming from a point where Spence hasn't fought since Crawford, and he got beat up pretty badly. He had his car accident. I saw the video. He flipped like 15 times. He's lucky to be alive. And something like that, a car accident like that, changes somebody. The synapses aren't there. You got injured and stuff. At the end of the day, Bakram should fight Crawford, and he should fight all of them. I think he's got power. Now, Tim Tszyu, the problem that I saw in this fight with Tim Tszyu and Bakram was that they had the same exact fighting style, just attack. There's no defense. I didn't see any like backing up. I didn't see any like backing up, tagging up, walking around. You know what I'm saying? They were just going at it like a slugfest. And Bakram had more power, and his punches damaged him to a point where even when he got knocked down, he got back up. Tim Tszyu was like, his eyes like showed me how the whole fight was gonna go.
Yeah. Yeah. In all honesty, off of the first round, I saw that Bakram had that right hand going, and he caught it, and that was his power punch. But Tim just kept putting his hands down, and Bakram just setting up that left. And I watched it with Henry. I was like, yo, he keeps setting it up. He keeps setting it up. Boom, dropped him. I was like, oh.
Yeah, he read it.
The Bakhram hits really hard, man. He's a hard hitter. But
Yeah.
I will say to go back to something that you said. You feel like they were both just on the attack. I felt like Tim really went in there. He underestimated him completely. But I also saw that Bakhram was a little bit more swifter than he was, because he would get tagged up and he would move a little more, do his little sidestep, you know, and recollect himself, and then he started setting up his shots, and they all landed.
Bakhram put him down 3 times in the second round. And then before the towel was thrown in the third, he knocked him down once.
Yeah,
He's hit the canvas 4 times in less than 3 rounds.
crazy.
He didn't have no answer. Henry, thoughts?
I'm still thinking about Spence, where you talked about Spence with the car accident, and I was literally thinking about Vinny Paz.
Oh,
And he became,
Pazienza? No,
yeah,
not
Vinny Pazienza became a champion again and moved up in weight.
I'm not
Saying,
sure if you know, Cal, who this guy is. He's a fighter. I think he was a welterweight, or he
yeah,
might have been a middleweight, but he got into a car accident and he broke his neck.
Oh
And
shit.
he came back and he moved up in weight class.
2 weight
And
divisions.
I think he fought in light heavyweight. I think who beat him? I think it was was
Roberto
it
Duran beat him.
the man Hands of Stones beat him, and then I think Mayweather Senior beat him. He came back. No, you're right.
Roy Jones Jr.
You're right. He could come back.
Yo,
People come back. It's in history. I
so
don't see it.
I'm just throwing that out there, and I was like, man, it's like about the dog. You know what I mean? I'm trying to say it's about the dog in the fight. I
I
think
got you.
I think he still got it. He still got years, and honestly, who knows if he ends up fighting Fundora and he wins, and then he fights Crawford and beats Crawford, be crazy comeback, bro. That'd be nuts.
That'd be a
That'd be
crazy
That
good
nuts.
story.
crazy. And that
Be
be done.
crazy.
That should be ill.
Yo,
Yeah,
Calvin,
man.
you should have let Henry tell fairy tales to the kids, because right now he's hitting on fairy tales like
Yo,
it's like he's been working with kids, man. These
I
fairy tales
mean,
he's telling.
Roberto Duran also took a L. Didn't fight for
yeah,
that long when he came back.
Yeah, that's true.
facts.
Yeah, but
And
he
he jumped in that
didn't
weight
get
division.
into that. Calvin, if you haven't
He
seen this
didn't get
car
into that
accident,
accident.
Calvin, if you haven't seen this car accident video,
Yeah, I saw
you
it. I
need to
saw
go
it.
see this, bro. That Ferrari or Lambo, whatever he was driving, like an idiot. If you're a pro fighter in that status, there's something called Uber Black Car. You could call your agent and be like, I need somebody to pick me up right now.
That's a fact, man. I swear, if I had that type of bread, yo, come get me.
Yeah,
Even without that type of bread, I'm like, Henry, I need a ride. The fuck?
That
Crazy. Who do you
yeah.
think, Henry? Who do you think he should fight next? Tim Tzue and
Bakram.
Bakhram. Let's go.
Honestly, I'm in between two. Like, if he stays in the same weight division, I think he should fight Virgil Ortiz Jr. I think that'd be a
Yeah,
great
that's
fight. But I'm also thinking because the Ennis Boots is done with that weight division, and it's time for him to move up.
he's not undisputed. He's not done.
But he's fighting a dude again that he beat full 12 rounds. Nobody's fighting him. There's no fights for him in that weight division, I'd say. That's why he's taking that. Like, I know you're saying it's probably mandatory, but nah, he can move up in weight, fight Bakram, and then
Yeah,
fight Crawford. He could do that. You know what I'm saying? That could happen. And his Boots wants it that
yeah.
bad. But
Gavin,
those two fights.
who do you think Bakhram should have next?
I mean, that's Bakhram. I didn't even think about Bakhram, to be honest with you, but for him, he should just fight the next contender, the next mandatory. But if Tim Tszyu is gonna come back and fight, he should at least give a chance to my man Zaya.
Alexander, the Puerto Rican?
Yeah, Puerto Rico, the coming up young
Puerto
star,
Rican?
the Puerto Rican.
Is he? I thought he was light heavyweight or middleweight. Isn't he
That's
middleweight?
a light heavy. That's a light heavy. He's in light
No,
heavy.
but Tim's at 154.
welter. He's at light middleweight, which is super welterweight.
Well,
He's ranked
maybe
number
that's not
8.
the
He's
weight
ranked
class
number
for him.
8
Sanders.
in that division.
Who? Wait, repeat that again.
He's ranked number 8,
In which division?
super
Light
lightweight.
middleweight.
Super lightweight.
Middleweight. 154.
My bad.
They don't know what they call it too. Light middleweight and super welterweight. It's the same
Yeah.
thing. So they make it confusing for all those boxing fans. UFC has better weight divisions. But there's so many weight divisions in boxing. They got multiple names for them too.
They should just put the weight class number right next to it instead of us being like, oh, let me just see what this one is.
Yeah.
Facts. But yeah, that'd be good fight. Zayas against Bakhram. I think that's a
Zayas against Bakhram, but
he's only 22.
Yeah, he's only 22. He's a young fighter, but he also needs a lot more fight so he could be seen to be like top tier.
Yeah, he had a fight that he was supposed to headline. He was supposed to headline this fight in the Hulu theater, but I think they gave it to a couple girl fighters that they headlined, and Zayas was
on the undercard though.
Yeah, initially I saw that he was supposed to headline. It was a Zayas fight. It was ticketed, but then they switched it. But yeah, I think Bakhram should fight Terence Crawford next. This is, of course, I'm selfish. You know what I'm saying? I want to see Terence Crawford at the tippy top of Mount Everest at 154. And the only way to do it is through Bakhram to get that 2-time belt. Then after he beats Bakhram, the winner of Sebastian Fundora and Spence, they get the other 2. Hopefully it's Spence that gets his arm raised as the winner against Fundora. I don't know.
Against that jelly green giant. That dude's mad tall.
That guy's 6'3", 6'4". This guy's
but he
Sebastian
knocked out too.
That's
What's that? Yeah, that young kid. What they call him? Like Iron Fist or something like that. He caught.
Yeah, I remember that fight.
Caught him again. I was like, oh.
I think they panned to his sister after he went down, and his sister was like, and his sister's a fighter too. His sister's a fighter, but no, I remember that fight. That fight was crazy. And Fundora is only 26.
Yeah, he's young.
That'd be it. Moving on, gentlemen. There's one fight I do want to talk about that was on this undercard. And this is what made me fall in love with boxing. Just watching just randos going in the ring and putting their heart on the canvas and just leaving it there for everyone to watch. This one undercard fight. It was like one of the first fights. It was against Andriy Saavedra versus Cesar Mateo Tapias. This fight was so entertaining. It was a 10-round fight, majority draw. Tapia went down twice in the 3rd round, one time in the 9th. Saavedra went down one time in the 5th. They went back and forth. Tapia was losing the fight, and he came back up, and the refs gave him the majority draw. These type of fights are the fights that people will say styles make fights, because you could have an opponent who is supposed to win, but your style against his style, it's like oil and vinegar, and you shake it up, and they're separated, but they're all in there, and they're just so good. This fight was surprisingly good. It was a slugfest. Guys, people, viewers, go back and watch this fight. You need to watch it. One of my favorite fights on that fight card. And they didn't need to make it a 12 round this time. I know there's no belt involved, but if it went 12, I don't know if it would have been a draw. I hope maybe you guys saw that undercard. You might have not, because it was one of the earlier fights of the actual event.
Nah,
I didn't end up seeing it.
That fight was
Henry,
crazy.
yeah, you got to go back.
There was two fights that on the undercard, right?
There was a couple, but that one was
those are only 2 that I remember.
Yeah,
I remember the last name, but
yeah,
that fight was crazy.
Great stuff. Those are the fights that you like. You never watch boxing?
Mm-hmm.
Let me put something on for you.
Yeah.
Let me put, you know what I'm saying? What is this?
Yeah.
You know? Yo.
Yeah. Like that wooden
Let's,
from 2 years ago. We can talk about that one
oh,
that the guy from TikTok put us on to, which was a great fight. We were watching it before we started the podcast, where it was just they was talking smack in the beginning.
this was the fight. This was the fight that was it Conlon or Woods? They're like, I'm gonna knock you out. And if
Oh,
it's not the 6th, I'm gonna knock you out. And then the other guy goes, if it's the 12th round, what's gonna happen then? I'm gonna knock you out.
Yeah.
And then he knocked him out the ring
Yeah.
in the 12th round.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Crazy.
remember that.
I
Crazy
didn't see
fight.
that fight, but I was just watching that fight before, and yeah, I mean, I don't know how Wood even lasted the 12 rounds. To be honest.
Yeah, facts.
He was getting
Bro,
smoked.
some people just work. Champions adapt, like I said in the past podcast. True champions adapt or die. Some fighters do well in the championship rounds, and that's where they shine.
It was at Boxing SB on TikTok. Put me on to that, and it was a really good fight. I watched it a couple times, and it's honestly, it was just wasn't expecting it. Like this dude Wood was just getting beat up, like, and then Conlon just loses the fight out of nowhere, getting knocked out of the ring.
He prophesized his own
Yeah,
win,
facts. He spoke himself into
which
Crazy.
existence.
he manifested that 12th round knockout,
Yeah,
bro.
I need to
That was
manifest $1
crazy,
million.
right?
Yeah,
Shoot,
Yeah.
facts.
Haney
Mm,
sues Ryan Garcia.
bruh.
The audacity,
Crazy.
the softness.
Crazy.
The softness.
Where's his
Whose
team telling
man's
him
is
not to
that?
do these things?
In the words of Timothy Bradley, he is Charmin soft.
Nice.
That's it, bro.
Sometimes I like when Timothy
Yeah, but I
Bradley
don't
says
like a lot of
something.
stuff that he says, but that was right on the book.
That's some
And
soft. That's
I
some
I
Oh
could have
yeah,
said,
that's crazy.
Haney's terry cloth, which means he's very, very soft.
okay.
Very soft.
That's
Yo,
it. Very
Calvin,
soft.
what you think?
Yeah, I think he's super corny for that. But apparently he's trying to sue for assault and battery of a professional boxing fight. I mean, like, come on, dog. Give it up, my guy. You got your zero back in your records. Let it go, G.
Listen,
Crazy.
Haney, if you're listening, take a page off Miguel Cotto's book.
Seek
He
revenge.
now he got cheated on real bad. Homie fought him with plaster in his gloves,
That's
cheated
wild.
and beat him. And guess what did Cotto do? Fought him again and beat the shit out of him.
Mm.
Do you guys
Nah,
remember?
that ain't gonna happen. He's too soft.
Margotito?
He ain't gonna do that.
Margotito?
I
Take a
remember.
page out of Cotto's book, Haney.
Haney ain't knocking nobody out though. He ain't got body shots like body. Hold on, he don't got nobody with no body shots like Cotto. Saying
He's a
like,
slumber.
bro,
He's a slumber party.
Yeah.
Haney.
Throwing pillows.
Hey, yo, bro.
Bro,
Oh, I just gotta say, the next person that fights Haney, and I hope Haney loses, he's gonna be like, expect me in court with Garcia because I gave him some
yeah.
assault and battery because he's a bitch. That's it. It's a wrap for him, bro. I don't think his career's over after
Oh
this.
my
If
god.
like Garcia's gonna come back and he's gonna be like, I'll fight anybody who wants it. You know what I'm saying? And
It's
he's gonna be like,
sad.
I'm about to smoke, and Haney's gonna be like, assault and battery. I'm scared.
I'm scared.
My pussy hurts.
Yo, I'm not Haney, listen, you're not gonna win in court. There's
No
no way
way.
you could win in court, especially the amounts of drugs. And you bet the man and you took that money after he didn't make weight.
Fact.
You decided you wanted to go into the ring with him. And I'm not sure if he knew before or it came out after, but all these talks that VADA, the organization that does these drug tests, they should be telling boxers if they got a dirty talk right away. They
Yeah,
should be. And don't get me wrong, he still would have whooped your ass the way you fought with those
bro,
whack ass shoes
bro,
that you had on.
crazy.
I've gotten my ass beaten. Don't get me wrong. I didn't file no lawsuit, bro. Where you from? You're a boxer. You supposed to be from the streets. You're a tough guy. You should. And like what Calvin said, they gave you back your zero. They gave you back your donut. Get the fuck out of here with this lawsuit shit.
Bro's bugged
The
out.
fuck?
He's bugged out.
I hate this guy now. I'm starting to really hate this guy. I'm gonna boo that man every time I see him.
That every time I see it, I take that scene from Scarface when Sosa's asking Al Pacino about his man, and he goes, "That guy up there, I never liked him. I never trust. For all I
never
know,
trusted him.
For all I know, he had
Man.
my friend Angel Fernandez killed, but that's history.
Killed.
Fuck that piece of shit.
That's how I look at Haney. That guy up there, I never liked him. Never trusted.
As far as I know, he had my friend Garcia killed.
You need someone please CGI Haney's body coming off of a helicopter.
The helicopter?
The helicopter scene was so bad in Scarface.
Oh man,
They just threw like some straw in the body.
That
that's great.
No, but that's what I have to say about that. That Haney suing Garcia, it's not boxer like. I don't think it shows toughness.
No,
I think it shows weakness. It shows a lot of weakness. It shows a lot of what's the opposite of character? Cowardness. It shows a lot of that shit. And if you're supposed to be a mentor or be one of the greatest fighters in the world,
his legacy
act like one.
is tainted. He's gonna have to fight Garcia again and beat him to get his legacy back if he wants to leave one in boxing.
If they fight again, I'm making shirts. I'm gonna make shirts of that knockdown picture of Garcia getting held by the ref and Haney on the floor with his whack ass shoes. I'm gonna order a whole bunch of them for the team.
He looked like he looked like a little kid waiting for sneakers to be put on him, and he's like, legs straight out.
I'm ready, Dad. We're going to Chuck E. Cheese.
Yo, Garcia's like,
that's
put your
crazy.
goddamn shoes on, man. Get up.
Yo, son. And this fight happened in New York City, baby.
Yeah.
This fight happened in New York City. Oh, and change the subject. I want to give a round of applause to the WNBA champions, the New York Liberty, baby.
Yeah.
Good job. First time that they've won, and tomorrow is the parade.
Nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure I'm going to see a whole bunch of pictures on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Henry, what do we got next? What fights are coming up?
So the next big fight, we're talking about November 9th. It's Jaron Ennis Boots versus Karen Chuzhakadzan. I can't pronounce it properly, but I'll try the best I can. They fought already. He lost. Karen lost, basically a unanimous decision. Apparently this fight is mandatory. And it's November 9th. It's in Philadelphia, where it's basically where the mecca of East Coast boxing is too. The next fight after that is November 15th in Texas, Arlington, Texas. It is Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul in an 8-round heavyweight fight. I'm not excited about it. My prediction is I hope Tyson just bites both of his ears, but the knockout. I'm hoping for that. And then, the next fight after that I think is big is, again, it's Tyson Fury versus Alexander the Hitman now, Usyk. Now, if you guys watched it, I don't think you guys did. Guy came into the press conference looking like a hitman with a briefcase on, walks
red
in, red tie, everything, pulls the briefcase open and pulls out a picture of him with a great power punch punching Tyson Fury and having him sign it.
Love it.
If Fury's just like, yeah, I can't believe you got me. He's like, you got another one, and then right after he signs it, he says he's putting it on eBay.
Awesome.
Right after he had on eBay.
Oh my God.
I'm just like, yo, that's great.
You know,
Yo,
I
that's all I
love
gotta
Usyk.
say.
So I love Usyk I think he's funny, but he's dry funny. Those guys that are not
Right.
like extra funny, and
That
he
shit
just
is
does
always
funny
funny.
shit like that.
I want to know who thought about that. He's like, I want to come in dressed like a hitman, and I'm gonna put a briefcase where a guy puts his guns. No, I'm gonna bring pictures of me punching him with my guns. Now sign it. Suck
Yo,
it.
Yeah,
this is another Riyadh season fight, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Yeah, like Henry mentioned, it's on December 22nd in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
So be prepared for the time difference. My West Coast people, you'll be just waking up, get your cup of coffee, tune onto the TV, and watch the fight. Calvin, did you have anything you want to add? You wanted to add to that?
nah. I mean, isn't Tank fighting in December?
Tank is fighting.
I think he's
I'll pull
fighting
that up in the
December
schedule.
21st or some shit like that.
Did you guys see that video that I sent you with Tank Davis go running into the ring?
Yeah, that's old though.
And yo, I know it's old, but whoever did that remake, oh my god. Henry, did I show you this video?
No, you didn't.
Tank ran into the ring, and I think it was a promo, and he slid into the ring, and it was a little flamboyant. Right?
It's a little fruity.
It
But
was. And then somebody made a remake, and then the remake, the dude runs in, and then he slides into the ring, and then he does a pony drop, like how
You gotta put me onto that.
yo, he started dropping like a pony, and he started going like this.
oh, he
Yo, he
started
did him
doing like what is that?
dirty.
That's crazy.
Oh man, I gotta put you
Damn.
on. I'll send you the video
It's on
later.
the 14th though.
Yeah.
This
So,
December.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
fighting Lamont Roach for the WBA lightweight title.
We're definitely gonna have to watch
Yep.
that one.
Yep.
Wonder who's gonna win.
Yep.
I
Yep.
wonder.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining. Please share, subscribe, tell your mamas,
Snap.
tell your daddies, tell your brothers, your sisters, your grandpas, and your grandmothers. Join the podcast. Peace.
Peace.
All right, gentlemen.